This week has been filled with so many appointments.
Didn't I make you laugh? Didn't I make you smile? Didn't I make you feel like you were happy for a while? Didn't I make you laugh? Didn't I make you smile? Didn't I make you feel like you were happy for a while?
Hey guys, how's it going? Nice to see you again. If you're wondering why you see my face twice in 1 week, it's because I've been catching up. I took a couple weeks break because I've had so much going on and I haven't been able to sit down and film and edit. So Monday, if you might recall in my last video, I mentioned that I was going to have a manometry test. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you might be thinking, wait, didn't you have a manometry test? Sort of. So about a month ago, I went for something called an esophageal manometry test, which involved them putting a tube down my nose, down my throat and into the top of my stomach. Unfortunately, that test didn't go very well at all. They actually couldn't get the tube past the back of my nose. It was insanely painful and we had to abandon it. Now, at the same time, my gastric specialist had ordered another kind of manometry test called an anorectal manometry test. Now, the clue is in the name where this involved being put. Purely to help people who might be going through the same thing, I'm going to explain what happened with this procedure. Anorectal manometry test involved them putting a catheter with a balloon on the end up my butt. Yeah, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It was something that I really needed done because I have a lot of trouble going to the toilet, and you may think I'm embarrassed talking about this, but by now I literally have no dignity left. And you know what, if it helps someone else who's worrying about having this procedure done, then it makes me feel good that I can reassure you and walk you through what might happen in your procedure. So I was pretty nervous about having this test done. I had read a bit online, but I wasn't entirely sure what it would involve. I've had things put up my butt before in a non-sexual way, you dirty pig. Like a sigmoidoscopy is kind of like a colonoscopy. I've had that sort of thing done before. I know the sort of sensation that feels like. The nurse that I had was lovely, which really helped. She walked me through it. She told me that if I was in pain or discomfort at any time, we could end the test. To let her know how I was feeling with it, we went ahead with it. So I signed a consent form. She walked me through the risks, like perforations, but it's theoretical because it's never happened at that hospital before. So this is what's going to happen. They're going to put a tube up my bum. Probably not YouTube friendly. Okay, so this is lovely. Yay! She gave me a gown and told me to take my pants off. And then I lay on my left side on the bed and she proceeded to take the catheter, and you know what happens next. It was more uncomfortable. It definitely wasn't painful. I felt the tube go in. It was the same sort of thickness as the tube that I had down my nose, or attempted to have down my nose, so it wasn't very large at all. It had a balloon thing on the end, which I didn't really look at, but I didn't feel that going at all. It just felt uncomfortable, and she had to put it quite a way up, and then the test really begun. What they were looking for was to see whether my muscles open and contract properly the way that they should when you would go to the toilet, and they tried to simulate the feeling of needing to go to the toilet. So the balloon inflates with air and you feel like you've got to go. So she told me, okay, we're going to do it in a few stages, so let me know at first when it feels a bit uncomfortable, like you've got trapped gas, then let me know when you feel like you've got to go but you can hold it, and then let me know when you have to go and you can't hold it at all. So I did all three of them, and it felt quite uncomfortable very quickly. She took all the air out and she said, right, we're going to do it again, but this time I'm going to put the air in very quickly, and I need you to try and push it out as if you were going to the toilet. And I tried as well, and then that was the end of the test. That was it. And she took it out, and then she told me that unfortunately my muscles aren't working properly. So when I push down, it's like pushing against a brick wall. I have a lot of trouble going to the toilet, and basically the muscles aren't relaxing enough to let things go through. So not great news. So I have to go back for biofeedback, which is basically the same procedure repeated over and over again to see if my muscles change or anything changes. Not really sure what happens in the long term if that doesn't work, but frustrating, but good at the same time that they've picked up that there is an issue and it's not all in my head. Monday evening we actually went back to Vinny's place. I don't get to go to Vinny's very often because he lives 2 buses and a train away from me, and that's very difficult getting on and off the trains with a disability. So that's why he comes here instead. But I had been invited to go out with his family for like a Chinese New Year celebration, and also it was his sister's birthday, and one of his other sisters had a birthday a few weeks ago, so it was sort of a family celebration and it was lovely. We had a really nice time. On Tuesday we had to head back home because I had a podiatry appointment, which is a specialist that deals with feet. Now, I saw a podiatrist maybe 4 months ago, something like that, and they gave me insoles to put in my shoes because my feet are flat. That's an EDS thing. It's to do with the connective tissue. But it affects the way I walk, it affects pain that I get in my feet. When we woke up on Tuesday morning, the beast from the east had arrived. If you're not from the UK, you might not have heard, but the UK recently were hit with a big snowstorm. I think it came over from sort of Siberia. The part of the country I lived in didn't really have much snow. We didn't really suffer that badly with it. But when we woke up on the Tuesday morning, there was a fair bit of snow, and morning. We're at Vinny's house. And the beast from the east has arrived, so that's great.
The beast from the east?
That's what they called it, this snow. The beast from the east.
I'm from the east.
You're not from the east. You were born here. Come on. Get up.
Oh my god, shut up.
Get up. This is Mabel. She's very cute, but she'd make a terrible guard dog. Or guard dog, wouldn't you? Because she doesn't like to follow instruction. Mabel, sit. Oh, you just proved me wrong. Paw. Good girl. Hey. Down. Mabel, down. Oh, you just proved me wrong. Hey. So, as far as my podiatry appointment went, it was actually quite quick. She was quite pleased with the progress. As far as my feet go, they're obviously still flat, but it's good that we've kind of got it early, I guess. On Wednesday, I went to see a dietitian. It had been recommended by the new doctor that I had been seeing, the gastric specialist. So I went in, she weighed me. She told me that I was underweight. Not a surprise because I've been underweight for a long time. My BMI had actually come up a little bit. It was about 14, 15, and I think she said it was like 16 and a half or something, or 17, but it's still classed as underweight. So the plan of action is she has decided to trial me on these milkshake drinks, these nutritional drinks. I think they're called Ensure. I don't know if they're the same in every country. It's something that they give to people who aren't properly absorbing nutrients and stuff, and to help keep their weight up or put weight on. One small drink is over 300 calories, and she has put me in for the right blood test because my GP, I asked her to check my vitamins and minerals and she did the wrong test, so that really wasn't great. On Thursday, the snow was still here, and Vinny decided he wanted to build a snowman. He named the snowman Gilbert. Gilbert has sadly passed on since then, but he definitely enjoyed the snow a lot more than I did. How's your snowman building going?
Right.
It's not going very well at all. This poor kitty has been out here. Look at the poor kitty. I'd rather him than me. It's freezing. It's so cold. And then on Thursday evening, I was in the shower and I got out the shower and then I wrapped my towel around me, and then this searing pain in my shoulder, and I looked in the mirror and my shoulder was out. It had come out of the socket. I don't know if it had fully dislocated or what. It went back in, but it was so painful, and it was the kind of pain that makes you dizzy and nauseous, and I had to get Vinny to come and help me get dressed, and it was horrible. My mum thinks I probably partially dislocated it, so that's nice.
I don't think you would.
No, but it hurt so bad it made me feel sick. It was horrible. I've noticed that my joints are subluxing a lot more recently. My fingers have been popping in and out, which is something that I've never really had issue with. So I don't know whether my joints are getting laxer, but it's painful. And then Friday, it was a slow day. I was working in the evening, but I spent the day kind of potting plants. I know that sounds crazy, but I wanted to give myself something to do and something to set a goal towards. I had watched videos of people growing avocados from seeds, and I planted them. Avocado. So you take the seed out and then you peel it, and then you stick these cocktail sticks in and suspend it in water about halfway, and supposedly what it does, it like splits and then the root comes down and then something comes out the top here. So this one's like 2.5 weeks old and no root has come out, but like you can see it's kind of split. Yeah, so it's like sort of split. Yesterday I planted some more, well, planted, and then I planted some rose cuttings as well. So we'll see what will happen with them, but I'm doing everything I can to try and keep them alive. I mean, I managed to keep myself alive, and that is a feat. I think next week is going to be a lot slower, thank goodness, because I am just exhausted with appointments. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you enjoy my videos and you're new, click the little subscribe button because it keeps you up to date for free when I post videos. I'm going to try and post some more videos soon about my wheelchair experiences. I recently got a rollator trial as well, so I'll show you all about that. And I guess until next week, stay safe, take care, and I will see you soon, Zebra fam. Bye.
Where do we go from